to introduce the next speaker who will bring a global perspective on leadership and education. Uday Salunkhe, he's Group Director of WeSchool, this fabulous institution. He has long worked at the intersection of business, education, and societal development. He's been championing value-driven leadership in a very rapidly changing world. So please join me in welcoming Uday Salunkhe.
Thank you very much.
The floor is yours.
Appreciate it. Hello. Yeah. Good morning to MDU team, to Sunrise Alliance team members, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. Being in Sweden, being in Västerås or Silsuna is not something which is very new for me and my team as well. It's like homecoming. We always failed, or I'll come back to I always failed. It's such a great pleasure to get reconnected with the family. I'm sure many of you must be movie buffs. Like Hollywood, in India, in Mumbai, the parallel to Hollywood is like Bollywood. And Indians always follow two religions. One is movie and second is cricket. And in movie, I'm getting a parallel that all popular old movies in Hindi language, which is the national language of India, there used to be hero, heroine, and small one child, one son, one daughter. And probably you'll find in the beginning, probably over a period of time, they go to some kind of big congregation of people. Like you must have heard of Kumbh, right? Mahakumbh, wherein millions of people were there, or in some kind of festivals. And they go there, they enjoy, and they get lost somewhere. And after they get lost, they get reunited after a decade, 2 decades, or 3 decades. And that is the climax, very happy climax of Hindi movies. Because you can't make a sad climax. It will not work for your movie to be blockbuster. This story is something like that. Out of that family, small family, the twin, one is MDU, Mälardalen University, and other is WeSchool. Both these family members were born in 1977, same year, same age, and same, I'll say, passion and drive. And both these family members reunited in 2007. So that's the beginning of our journey in 2007. And the originator for that journey, I'm sure I've seen Sten and Annalil is here, both of them, who are the actual originator for this. And here I start with my first slide. You could see here in first, Sten, Annalil, thank you very much for being here when we started in 2007. And that journey is on. And the same first slide, you can see Krista is here. Krista is here. Our old friend Damir and everyone. Probably here you'll see in fact, Ileana is here in this picture with the Vice Chancellor. Thomas is here. And here as well, the other team members, last Global Impact Forum, which was here. You won't believe, but we feel so much like a family. And all of team members from MDU, whenever they come to India, be it in Mumbai, be it Bangalore, and not just kind of delivering lectures or some kind of mere student exchange, faculty exchange, but I will unfold the story over a kind of period of time and focusing one of the major product, which is ECA. But definitely moving forward, you'll really find if education is truly global, why does it still feel local? I'm sure all the business schools, universities which are present here, you'll have international programs, you'll have student exchange, faculty exchange, global partnerships. But still, when we get a sense from the students, they feel, yeah, we are globally connected. We have access to international universities. but still they feel themselves a bit local. Why it is so? So you'll really find, and Hein did mention about Amitabh Ghosh and global climate crisis. So you'll really find, when we're looking at it, the students who are entering into the world market today, the world market is not in silos. The world market, probably we need to see what is the core fabric wherein we should really work together. It's quite possible, as it is mentioned here, somebody may file patent in Bangalore, do research in another country, third country probably they will validate, and probably you launch a startup in the fourth country. It will be multi-stakeholder driven approach is bound to be there. And problems like this, when you're talking about climate change, I'm glad at least Sweden is so much ahead on the curve from SDGs of the world, Sustainable Development Goals, circular economy, and focus is so much. And there's so much for us to learn from Sweden as well. And we did some of the programs on that with the Swedish companies in India. But likewise, AI for good. How we can make AI or NATs of the world, new age technologies of the world, far more human. How we should look at ethics and governance point of view. The world is truly concerned. And likewise, when you look at geopolitics, the geopolitics is not a periphery of the business anymore. You'll really find geopolitics has come to the core of a business. Any universities, many business schools, they cannot go away of not to teach students about the contextual intelligence and the global context. The local context or any national context need to be known, but at the same time, far more is required is that global context. And likewise, supply chains. Recent all examples, we are still going through the brunt of what is happening with respect to disruptions in supply chain. Even in India, we are facing, everyone in the globe we are facing. So situation here is, as Fuller is talking about, we need to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Moving forward, the name of the game, which we also feel, is not mere connection, wherein we move the information or we work across borders, but how one can co-create, how probably we can build something new together, and the partnerships as a lab. And taking forward this co-creation to co-production. Co-production, in fact, we learned from MDU when we work together so closely. When we are moving in this, what would be the probably thought process? The thought process which we followed and which would be known from our name, it's WeSchool. This we have recoined as a true essence or meaning point of view in 2008. Our full name is Wellington Institute of Management Development Research, based out of Mumbai, Bangalore. But somewhere deep down we failed when we were on the journey of design thinking, leadership, innovation. We failed. I, me, myself is not going to work. It should be we is a new I. And when we decided to do that, we failed. Normally, universities in India, 93%, 94% are self-financed. 6 to 7% would be funded by the government. And I'm referring to specifically business schools. So they remain in low risk, low opportunity quadrant. And we decided to move to high risk, high opportunity. It may sound a bit more like edupreneurial, but yes, it is so. That you have to look into quarter on quarter like any business. And that's the way we move there for the contemporary and relevant programs. And at the same time, looking into emerging reality, futuristic programs. Now, from that angle, when we move forward, we really failed the significance of IBR, investment before returns, is greater than ROI. Are we ready to put in from our side resources of multiple types, multiple kinds, and returns are, I'll say, our returns or consequence is definitely guaranteed. But if you don't do that, you'll find that ROI will term, or ROI will be like risk of inaction. Can you afford to do that? And we started moving with this philosophy of IBR is greater than ROI. And in this, The story is going to be SOS, like self. That self is an individual. O is from organization point of view, and S is from society point of view. This young gentleman was exactly here in similar kind of place way back in 2007. 21 years old MBA student from WeSchool. And you'll really find when he came here just to get an exposure, international exposure. Because from India side, normally you'll find it's a question of affordability. But yes, the student has invested his time, definitely resources to some extent, and you'll really find the way in which he has learned the triggers or drives for the life skills from the same university, Mälardalen University here in Eskilstuna and Västerås, way back. Let's listen to his story as a small video.
Namaste. I'm Hari Krishnan Pillai. I'm the founder CEO of The Small Big Idea.
And a proud Wellinger alumni.
We are one of India's largest independent ad agencies, serving the world. Speaking of the world, my first interaction with people outside of my country was back in 2007, when I went
As a part of the design and innovation delegation from Wellinger to Sweden.
as a part of my role as a contingent leader. I was supposed to present to a room full of academicians and students about leading the India way. This was back in 2007. Social media hadn't done its job. We were still understanding the world outside through cinema and through news. It was an interesting experience for me. On one hand, I had 60-year-old academicians, and on the other, 20-year-old students. I had to ensure that even though we are culturally apart, the stories that I tell cut through to the audience, and everybody understands the essence of how leadership is universal. It was probably one of the most memorable presentations that I've ever done. The tension, the anxiety, the laughs, the claps, all of them were eventually worth it. Little do you realize as a student how such incidents and events change you or shape you professionally. For me, that would have been just one of those times when I went on stage and performed to the audience. But what it very interestingly did to me was gave me the ability to be with different cultures very effectively. And the proof of the pudding was when we were a part of a contingent in my professional life as a part of a television channel, doing an awards function in Singapore, dealing with over 300 people from across the world to host about 500 people from India. Or when RTL Europe came into India to start their TV channel. I was working with the team where there was a Swede, a Canadian, and a French colleague, and we all launched a very successful channel. Or today, when at TSBI, not only are we driving business here in India, but also in the Middle East and Africa. What you realize over a period of time is that education, interaction beyond borders truly change the way you view people. You start appreciating culture, you start appreciating different elements and facets of what they bring to the table. Some of you take initiatives to ensure that the next generation get to study and educate themselves beyond borders.
Thank you, Hari. So you'll really find actually almost more than 70 students did this Linus Palme scholarship. More than almost 30 plus teachers, faculties did, and both the sides. Swedish students coming to WeSchool, Indian students coming here, and even during Staines days, maybe it was more like a destination Sweden point of view, things were. Now we're moving from that SOS to organization. How probably organization can transform the future as well. When we look at the coil is clearly, you'll find it's a multiple countries, partner universities, virtual collaboration. But at the same time, what actually happened? The students who are engaged, yes, but students sometimes move out because of time zones, and collaboration works, but collaboration works parallelly. So from that angle, one of the comment of the student is very much meaningful, that we didn't really collaborate, we just divided the work globally. So different groups are working like a global practicum together, but at the same time, is it so much meaningful? But when we redesign and kind of co-create COIL with Bamberg as well, in terms of real-life problems, challenges with the companies, and getting a meaning out of it made a lot of difference. This is actually our story with MDU. ECR, in fact, was a wonderful project of 11 Swedish companies trying to penetrate Indian markets, and students, faculty work on that. And parallel to model like your quadruple helix collaboration, and 4 successfully actually venture into India. And these are the kind of companies, real markets, real consequences, which did tremendous sense to us with multiple stakeholders. On this, all these 3 stories, clearly one shift, one insight, which is a V is a new I. And the important factor is, what are we actually building together? And Indian government, just last week, on 16th of May, Economic Times carried news, the Ministry of Statistics and project management point of view, project implementation point of view, how we can measure knowledge, how we can measure knowledge products. And likewise, when we work together, it can give a push to Indian economy, or likewise to Swedish economy, and how we can work together. As Ileana mentioned about our Prime Minister, your Prime Minister as well, we are trying to work in that direction, certainly. This is a basic philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which India believes in. The world is one family. And as the message is very clear, the future of education lies in global learning ecosystems where universities co-create and co-produce knowledge, cultures, and transformative outcomes together for a better tomorrow. Let's build together, let's talk, and join hands with me. Maybe post this session, maybe after probably roundtable is over, and we'll be more than happy to work together, because India is the future for the globe as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. So, just a quick question on the new developments between India and Sweden. The visit of your president here in Sweden, and what it might entail for the academic stages and the collaborations here that you were involved with.
See, at the first place, India respects Sweden in multiple ways. Definitely, our Honorable Prime Minister is looking forward to working together on innovation in the space. India moved from almost more than 100th rank to almost below 40 now, in terms of innovation index point of view. And unicorn point of view, the number of patents getting filed to India has grown, I'll say, the quantum jump. And India is looking forward to how we can work together with the like-minded countries, like Sweden, definitely. At the same time, also focus is on quite a bit on sustainability point of view, where we all are looking forward to a better tomorrow for the mankind. And the practices which are followed by Sweden are worth really working together. And third aspect, definitely on manufacturing side as well. In fact, our Prime Minister and overall even Indian companies are looking forward to working together with the Swedish companies, be it on Industry 5.0 or 6.0, how probably we can work together. And I'm sure both these countries are kind of already into merger of minds, actions are already happening. But universities like MDU, WeSchool, IIT Bombay, my other friends are there, and even maybe other partners from Sunrise, if all of us come together to address the common problems which are facing at a global level, it will make a lot of difference. It should not be just mere, and at least I'll say from my side, the actions speak louder than words. That should be the motto. Thank
Excellent. Let's have a gift for... And I know by now that there is some vegetables from the local lab, the farm.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine.